Everyone, myself Pankaj, and welcome to the next video of solving most important DSA interview questions, right? So in today's video, we are going to solve the next question as longest palindromic substring. It is very tricky question and also very important question. So what we have to do is, we are given with a string S and we have to return longest palindromic substring. So you must be all aware with what is a palindrome. So palindrome is a string which when you will read from its start and end, the characters are similar, right? So let's take here example as BAB is a palindrome. Again, ABA is a palindrome because reading from the beginning and reading from the end gives this same string, right? Now a substring is a part of a string which is continuous. So basically you have to find a substring with which is a palindrome and also which is longest also, right? So let's understand this question. So here you can see that you are given with a string BABAD, right? And the answer of this input string is BAB. You can see here multiple substrings exist, right? So the strings can be BA, right? Or B itself, BA itself, BA itself, right? There are multiple substring of a particular string, right? Now you have to find the substring which is a palindrome and longest also, right? So in this example, you can see here that BAB is a palindrome, right? And ABA is also palindrome, but both these palindromic both these palindromic substring are of same length, that is 3. That's why here you are returning BAB. You can also return here ABA as your answer, right? Because both these string has same length, that is 3, right? So its answer can also be written as ABA, right? So now let's come to the logic of how you can solve this question. So the very brute force approach that must be coming in your mind that what you will do, you will basically find all the substrings like this, right? So to find the all the substrings of a string, you will basically require O of n square time complexity, right? And again, let's say you find this substring, and to check whether it is a palindrome or not, you will again traverse this substring from. You will use two pointer actually. One is from the beginning and another is from the end, and you will check whether it is a palindrome or not. It will again require O of n time complexity, right? So total time complexity will be big O of multiplied by n is equal to big O of n cube, right? So you are not going to solve this question using this approach. Why? Because I don't think this is a feasible solution. You can see the constants here. The length of our string is 10 to the that is uh, 10 to the power 3, right? Now when you will solve this question in O of n cube, what will be the maximum time? It will be 10 to the power uh, 3 to the whole cube, right? So definitely you are not going to solve this question in O of n cube. It will give TLE, right? So how you will do this? So let's see. There is a hint given in this question. There is a beautiful hint given here is that how we can reuse a previously computed palindrome to compute a larger palindrome. So what does it mean that let's say let's consider this string. Uh, let's say B, right? So now let's say you already knew that this so you already know that the part of this substring that is known as ABA is already a palindrome, right? Here you can see that this part of this string is already a palindrome. So now what you will do, you will basically check that whether the last elements of this substring are equal or not. To consider this substring, you will check that whether this last element or this last element are equal or not. If they are equal, so if they are equal and the inner substring is also a palindrome, then you don't have to compute all this value for checking the palindrome, right? So what you will basically do, you will check if these last two elements, that is B is equal to B, that is b is equal to b, then and then again you will check that does the inner substring is already a palindrome, that is a here, so it will return true. So you don't have to again traverse that inner substring, right? So what you will do, you will basically call that the substring that is BABAB is also a palindrome, and the length of this substring will be the length of the inner substring that is already a palindrome plus 2, right? Because at the end you are including these two characters and you are increasing the length of the total substring by 2, right? So what you will do, you will basically do uh, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 will be the length of your bigger substring, right? So this is the approach for solving this question. So now let's talk about the logic how you will solve this question, right? So here what I have done is I have made a matrix. You can call it as dp or any other name by you can call it, right? Let's say I call it as dp of I comma j, right? So each cell will be called as a dp of I and dp of ij, and ij is the coordinate of that cell, right? So here what I have done is I have made the string matrix as 2D matrix. You can see here AAB AA on the right hand side and the top side as AAB AA. I also have done some markings here for tracking the length of the string or the coordinates, right? So here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now what we will do, we will basically traverse this matrix diagonally, right, to check for our condition. So this is your substring, this is your string, original string, and what you are doing that rows are marked as I and j are marked as and columns are marked as j, right? So now when you are in at this index 0 comma 0, let's say your I is also here and j is also here, right? So you can see that a single length substring is always a palindrome, right? This A is already a palindrome, or any letter in or any single letter is already a palindrome, right? So what you will do here, you will check that does A is equal to A, right? So you will give 1 here. Now when you come to this cell that is 1 comma 1, so basically your I is here and j is here, right? So you will check again that A is equal to A, right? So single letter word is already a palindrome, so again you will give 1 here. Similarly for all the characters, let's mark it as 1 now. Now when you will okay, when you will come to let's say your I is here and your j is starting from here, and j is starting from here. Again you can see that this is a length 2 substring, right? So what you have to do for length 2 substring, you only have to compare the characters at index I and j basically, right? So you will check that if a is equal to a, then what is the length? So length will be the 2 of this substring, right? So basically for length 2, what you will do, you will check that int characters are equal or not. Here you can see that a is equal to a, so basically you will have to put 2 here, right? So this is 2. Again your I is at 1 and j is at 2. So let me erase this. So I is at your 1 place and j is at your third index, right? That is 2. So again you will check that these are length 2 substring. So again you will basically have to check the last character. Is A and B are equal? So it will return false, right? So here this is not a substring. So basically you have to put a 0 here, right? Again your I will be at second index and J will be at your third index, right? So basically I'm missing one A here, right? So does your B is equal to A? Now you will check that does this B is equal to A. So this is not a palindrome. So what you will do, you will basically fill 0 here. Again your I will to here at third index and J will move to at your last index, right? Now again you will, this is a substring of length 2. So basically you have to check this are equal or not. So you can see here A is equal to A. So basically you have to you will have to put 2 here, right? Now, when you will come to next diagonal elements, so basically for next diagonal elements, your I will start from 0 and j will be from index 2, right? So after so for length of substring greater than equal to 3, what you will do, you will basically check the last characters. Does this a is equal to b? So these are not equal, so basically you will have to put 0 here. Again, what you will do, you will move your I pointer and j pointer forward. So your I will be here and your j will be here, right? I'm sorry, your I will be here and j will be here, right? Again, you will check that does these last characters are equal, so these are equal, but you also have to check that the inner characters that, but you also have to check that does the inner substring is also a palindrome or not. So for checking that, you will have to consider these for this cell, you will have to look for this indexed palindrome, right? So basically when you are at I and j, you will have to check for this cell, that does this cell is a palindrome or not. If it is, its value is greater than 0, so basically it's a palindrome, because b is a single letter substring and it is already a palindrome. That's why we have put 1 here. So this is a palindrome. So basically this 3 length substring is also palindrome. So what will be the length of this palindrome? You can see here its length is basically the length of the inner palindrome, that is 1 plus 2 of this character count, right? So basically here the length will come as 3. Now again, when you will move your index forward, so your I will be here and your j will be here. So again you will check for these two last characters. Since these two last characters are not equal, so what you will do, you will basically put 0 here. Now again, your I starts from 0 for next. Now for next diagonal cells of this matrix, your I will start from again 0 and j will start from this index 3, right? So basically you will again check these two characters, are they are equal. So you can see that a and a are equal. And again, for checking that that inner substring is a palindrome of this substring or not, so what you will do, you will basically check for this cell, is this is this substring is a palindrome or not. So you can see here the value is 0. What does it mean? That this AB is not a palindrome, right? So that's why this whole substring is also not a palindrome. So what you will do, you will basically put 0 here, and for this cell your I will be here and j will be here. So again these are equal, but for the inner substring you will check for this cell, and this cell is not and this cell is not showing that the inner substring is a palindrome. That's why you will again put 0 here. Now at last, your again I will be at your first index and j will be your last index for checking the bigger substring. So what you can see here, the last characters are equal, and for checking that whether the inner substring is a palindrome or not, you can see here you will have to check for this cell, right? So this cell representing that this the inner substring is also palindrome. So what you will do, you will basically add 2 to this cell value and keep that value here. So what will the value here? Here value will be 3 plus 2, that is 5. So you can see here in this way we are actually able to find the answer of this question, that answer of this input substring, that uh, a b a and a is a substring, palindromic substring, and its longest length is equal to 5, right? And one thing that I also want to point out here is that when I am talking about the inner cell, so basically the inner cell is called as dp of I plus 1 and j minus 1, right? The inner cell coordinates is this, dp of I plus 1, j minus 1. you can see here when you are at this position, at this position, right, at this position, and for I comma j, and this cell constitute of the coordinates as I comma j. When you will, when you have to find the index or coordinates of this cell, so basically what you're doing, you are moving your to the next row, and for your j index, what you are doing, you are basically moving backward from columns perspective, right? That's why this cell coordinates will be I plus 1, and column will be j minus 1, right? So that's why we are actually checking for dp of I plus 1 and j minus 1. So this is the logic of solving this problem. So let's come to the code right now. So what you have to do is basically, first of all, let's make it bigger screen. First of all, let's mark the n as length of this string as dot size. Now you will have to create the that 2D matrix. So basically you will use vector for that. You can call it with any name. So basically I'm calling it as a dp of length, number of rows as n, and the number of columns will be n also with and initializing each cell with 0 as its value, right? Now you will have to iterate this. So before iterating to this, let's see that. So here you can see that we are actually iterating diagonally, right? So now when you will see the coordinates of this cell as it is as 0 comma 0, right? Let me write it here is that the first cell coordinate is 0 comma 0, right? Again, when you will move diagonally, the that cell coordinate will be 1 comma 1, right? Again, when you will move forward, your column, your cell coordinate will be 2 comma 2. This is for first row. Basically this is for your first diagonal. For second diagonal, you can see that your I index is at 0, and your j index is at 1, right? Again, when you will move diagonally for the second diagonal, your uh, I will increase with 1 and j will also increase with 1, right? Similarly, for third index, your I is starting at 0, and j is starting at 2, right? When you will move forward, your I is increasing with 1 and j is also increasing with 1. So what you can observe here is that, but when you are changing diagonal, you are also increasing your j with 1, right? Here the j is starting j with 0, here j is starting is 1, and in the third diagonal the j starting is 2. So in this way you will have to track the difference. So you will have to use one parameter here. So basically let's call it as difference for making the difference, tracking the difference. So it will start from 0, and difference will go up till less than n. Why? Because you can see here for a string of length 5, our this difference is going up to what, 4, right? So basically you will measure the difference between this I0 and J4, that is giving 4 as our answer. So your difference will go up till less than n, and at the end you will have to increase your difference. Now for uh, marking the coordinates, you will have to use index I and j. Let's say I is equal to 0 and j is, what is the j value? So basically your j value is uh, in this case, let's say in first case your j value was what, j is equal to 0 I plus 1. Here you can notice here that when your difference is 0, I'm sorry, so basically your j value will be I plus difference. So let me write it here. Your j value will be I plus difference. So you can notice here also, here when your I was 0, your j was also 0. So basically at this is the first diagonal. So basically your difference value will be 0 and I is 0. So basically you are adding. So let's talk about the first column, second diagonal. You can see here for first in cell, your I is 0, right? Difference value for this diagonal is difference is equal to 1, right? So what, from where your j is starting? J is basically starting from I plus your difference value, that is 0 plus 1. So what is 0 plus 1? So 0 plus 1 is basically 1, right? So this is the j. So your j will start from I plus difference, and j will go up till less than n. And what you have to do at the end is basically you will have to increase your j and I, right? Now, you noticed here that when you are at first diagonal, so this is the diagonal that I am talking about, all the values in this diagonal are 1. Why? Because the first diagonal will represent the substrings with length 1, right? So length 1 substring is always a palindrome, right? That's why we are putting 1 as its value. So you will give here a condition that if I is equal to j, what you will do, you will basically fill that cell with 1 as value. Now if your difference is 1, if your difference is 1, so what does that mean? If your difference is 1, it means that you are considering substrings with length 2, right? So for length 2 substrings, what you are doing, you are basically checking for the last two characters are same or not. So what you will do, you will basically check that if s of I is equal to s of j or not, right? So what you will do at that cell dp of I comma j, you will basically check that whether s of I is equal to s of j. If it is equal, then what you will do, you will basically put the length of the substring as 2. Otherwise you will give 0 as your cell input, right? So this is basically checking for the substrings with length 2, right? Now other than length 2 that is greater than or equal to 3, what we have to do, we have to basically check first. What you will do, you will basically first check your that the last characters are equal or not, that is character at I index and character at j index. If they are equal, then again you will have to check for the inner substrings whether they are palindrome or not. So for checking that, what we have done is that we were accessing the value of I plus 1 and j minus 1 cell, right? If that cell is greater than 0, right, what does it mean? That if that cell's value is greater than 0, it means that the inner substring is also a palindrome. So basically you can also write in this way that if its value is non-zero, so it means that the inner substring is also a palindrome. So basically what you will do, you will basically mark that substring with the length of the dp of I plus 1 j minus 1 plus 2, because when you are comparing adding two characters at the beginning and at the end, that's why you are adding with 2 here, right? Now you can see here we actually have to return the this longest palindromic substring, all right? We don't have to return the length, we have to return actually the substring, right? So what you will do, you will have to declare one variable string ns, which you will store for your answer, and you will also declare one variable that is max length, which you will track the maximum length substring, right? So after filling the matrix, so after filling each cell of the matrix, you will check that if that cell is non-zero, right? It means that you have find a substring, or you can say you have find a palindromic substring. So what you will do, you will again check for the condition that, okay, first of all, let's see how you will find the length of a palindrome substring. So let's say take example as ABA as your palindrome, right? So how you will find your substring here? So basically your I will be at start, that is 0, and J will be at second index, that is 2, right? So how you will find? You will find your the length of this substring as 2 minus 0 plus 1, that is 3, right? You can see here we are actually getting the length of this substring, right? So how you did this? You did this by just using the condition that j minus I plus 1. So this will give the length of your substring, right? So we will have to use this out here. So if the length of your palindromic substring that you find here is greater than the max length, right? So what you will do, you will update your max length as j minus I plus 1 and store this palindromic substring inside your answer variable. How you will do that? You will basically use a STL function s dot sub str, and you in this STL function you just have to provide the index of your starting substring, and in this case that index is I, and the second parameter that you have to pass is the length. So length is basically j minus I plus 1. So your answer variable will have the uh, answer so the answer variable will have the longest palindromic substring stored in that, right? So basically you have to return that answer. So let's check and run this code. Okay, so here we have done a mistake. We have to give TP here. Okay, so basically we are returning inside this bracket. We have to return it here, right? So you can see here our public test cases are passing, and uh, let's try to submit this. So our solution has been accepted. And when you talk about the time complexity of this code, so clearly you can see here the time complexity is O of n square. Why? Because the first loop is going from 0 to n, and also the second loop is going from 0 to n. What is the difference from the brute force approach here is that we basically eliminated the this O of n computation here, right? So we eliminated the computation for checking that inner substring is also a palindrome or not, right? So by using this 2D matrix, therefore our time complexity is O of n square, and since our constraint was that the string length is 10 to the power 3, so O of n square will go up to 10 to the power 6, which is obviously the which is obviously get accepted, right? So I hope you have understood this question. So till then, thank you and happy new year to you all. So let's meet in the next video again. So thank you.